My ex-wife cheated on me with a guy nearly half her age. She met him on a flight while returning home from visiting her parents. They were seated next to each other, started chatting, and exchanged numbers. Turns out, their parents belonged to the same social circle, which became their common ground. He was a fresh graduate from our hometown, heading to the city where we lived for an internship. I first met him at the airport when I went to pick up my wife. She introduced him, saying, "He's a fine young man. It would be nice of us to help him feel less lonely in a big city." I had no reason to doubt her, so I agreed. From that point on, we started inviting him over for lunch and dinner on weekends. We took him to the beach with our kids, made him feel welcome. Occasionally, my wife went shopping with him or watched movies that I wasn't interested in. A few times she took him to parties at her friends' places. I was actually relieved that I didn't have to waste time with people I didn't like. He was quiet, withdrawn, didn't talk much. I thought he was just shy or adjusting to a new city. Little did I know they were sleeping together every chance they got. This went on for 6 months. When his internship ended, he returned to his hometown. I assumed that was the end of it. What I didn't know was that they kept in touch. Time passed, and my wife and I eventually divorced for reasons unrelated to cheating. If you've ever lived with a narcissist, you'd understand why. At the time, I had no clue about her affair. It was only later, thanks to certain friends, that I learned the full extent of her betrayal. She had been a master manipulator, covering her tracks so well while I remained blissfully naive, believing every word she said. Her one slip-up, or perhaps just arrogance, was boasting to her girlfriends about the perks of having a toy boy 20 years younger. One of those friends spilled everything to me, and that's how I found out. After our divorce, that guy became even more persistent, probably thinking his time had finally come. But she must have rejected him because, in retaliation, he sent an email. No text, no message, just a collection of her nude photos. Some were taken in our bedroom, some in our living room, some in what I assume was his place. Some were just suggestive poses, while others were hardcore shots from his point of view. I never responded to that email. I never brought it up with my ex-wife, with whom I stayed in contact only for the sake of our kids. Some things are just better left unsaid. That wasn't the only time she cheated. My so-called friends made sure I knew about her other escapades. Many of them had been aware of her hobby for years but chose to stay silent. By the time I found out, I was already over her. I didn't care about her affairs anymore. What truly hurt wasn't the fact that she had slept with others behind my back. It was the realization that I had lived under the illusion of having a life partner, my best friend, while being completely blind to reality. That humiliation stung more than the betrayal itself. Worse still, I was angry. Angry at myself. I couldn't believe how naive I had been. How many glaring red flags and weak lies I had either ignored or failed to see. For years, I worked tirelessly, doing whatever it took to provide for my stay-at-home wife and kids, believing I was building a secure and loving home. And my reward? Betrayal from the person I trusted the most. That was a long time ago. It took years to clean up the financial disaster that came with the divorce. Forgiving or forgetting something like that? Impossible, at least for me. I never fully healed emotionally, but I learned to live with it. The experience changed me. And honestly, I like the person I became far more than the one I used to be. I'm stronger now. The kids grew up just fine. They remained close to me, but not to their mother. As for me, I stayed single. Trusting another woman again? Not something I could ever bring myself to do. My so-called friends still keep me updated on my ex-wife's latest exploits as if I care. Maybe it gives them some satisfaction to parade their successful family lives in front of me. If nothing else, they helped me see who my real friends were. She never changed. She always kept one primary partner while sleeping around. Maybe her partners knew, maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't care. The young guy from before moved to another city, but I heard they still meet up whenever he's in town. Then came rumors, threesomes, bisexuality. Turns out she wasn't just a narcissist, but a full-blown nympho too. The latest I heard, again, not from her but through a friend, was that she had been diagnosed with BPD. If you enjoy engaging stories, real-life experiences, and deep insights, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on new content that I create just for you. So hit that subscribe button and be part of this journey.